Welcome back to Nifty Network. Today we have a G35 coupe in. I'm going to show you how to remove your steering wheel off of your car. First things first is we're going to undo the battery. I always like to do it. It's kind of just like a safety thing. Just always make sure the battery's undone. It's a 10 for the ground. So obviously lefty-loosey. Get that loosened up. Give that a little twist. And also when you pull the battery off, make sure to push the terminal out because those wires kind of have a memory to them. They'll want to pop back up and set on there. I've had that happen. So just kind of push it out of the way. And we'll get to the positive right now. And same thing, once it's loose, just give it a little wiggle, pop that up, and pop that over. If it doesn't want to stay, I'll take the battery cover and I'll set it like that just so that it doesn't set back on the positive. Okay, so to remove the airbag, I turned the steering wheel to the right a little bit, and that's just for viewing purposes on this right here, but the steering wheel did lock, so get a flathead, and there's a little beauty trim cover right here. That pops out very easily. And you're gonna have another, oh wow, and of course this one is very rare to see. You're either normally gonna have a T27 safety Torx or a T30. Let me grab the right one of that and I'll show you what that tool looks like too. All right, so we ended up getting the safety Torx bit out of this, so you have to remove this safety Torx or whatever you want to call this. I don't know the specific name of this bolt, but they're extremely rare to be on here. So this kit that I have is called a M6 airbag anti-theft bolt master key set service tool. The 166 one actually lined up with this one really good, so you'll see that it'll set in there like that. We're able to get that out, but the likelihood of you running into this bolt is extremely rare. I've dealt with hundreds of these cars and I've never ran into one before. So I'll show you we got the one on this side. If you go directly across from it, there's going to be one on the bottom. This is a T30 safety Torx. So this is more common for what should be on the car. T30 safety Torx is because it has the hole in the center. So I'm going to get this out and then I'll show you what this one looks like in comparison to the other one. Alright, so the normal one that you're going to run into is here on the left side. That's a safety Torx T30 on this side. Check it out, pop that little cover off, see if yours has it. Put those on the ground, and then when you have both of those safety bolts out, just slide your airbag straight forward. Don't pull too hard because there's things connected. We're going to rotate the airbag over. We're going to grab a pick, and there's these black, the black clips, or I don't even know what to call these. These are airbag plugs, but the black part on this, if you go on the back side, there's a little divot. Just slide it back in there and this will release. And pop that off. Same thing right here. Slide it up there and then come on this side and do that. And there you go. Alright, so now that we have the airbag off, to get the steering wheel off, there's a couple things you need to see in here. There is a green plug right here, and we're going to slide that off. This is just a ground for the horn to work. So slide that off, and then there's going to be a plug right here. Press down on the that part of the plug that removes it. And then these clock spring plugs for the airbag are in this little notch. So you want to move that. Once you have everything freed up, you're going to grab a 19 on an impact, or make sure that your steering wheel is locked, then you'll be able to use a ratchet or breaker bar, whatever you have. What I like to do though is I'll get it loose, but not all the way off, because these are really stuck sometimes, and if you pull that nut off and then you yank on the steering wheel and it smacks you in the face, you're not gonna have a good day. So leave that nut on there a couple threads until you get the steering wheel off. What I do is I'll kind of rock it back and forward on here, see if it comes loose. If it doesn't, hold one part of the steering wheel and pull towards you, and then just kind of give it some taps around it. And what that does, it'll just loosen it up for you, and it'll pop loose. So you can see the force that it took to take that off. if that nut wasn't on there, there's a good chance it probably would have smacked me. So once it's loose like that, you can remove the nut all the way. And then just slide that off. If anything gets caught up, make sure it's not getting yanked off. You're gonna see a little opening right here. That guy lines up with that guy right there. And what I'll like to do is I'll lock the steering wheel into a place where I know that the steering wheel and the steering shaft's not gonna move. So just make sure to keep that lined up, and then when you put it back on, you can actually look through, the back of this. So if you see my flathead coming through, you can make sure that that white post is lining up with that. So if it doesn't go on all the way, don't force it. And yeah, that is how you remove a steering wheel, and that's also how you align a steering wheel on a G35 coupe or G35 sedan.